All right, my friends, welcome back to Salt City Counseling. Once again, my name is Scott. I'm a licensed therapist here in the beautiful state of Utah, and I hope everybody's doing good out there, to be honest with all of you. I'm going through a slump. I'm a person. I'm a human being, as it turns out. I do my own work. I do my own mental health work. I do. I'm actively engaged in my own work, and which is why I haven't put out many videos recently. I've been opening up a whole bunch of areas of my life that need to be visited and need to be worked on and need to be worked through that I've kind of put off for a long time. And it's tough. It's really, really tough. And this is related to what I'm going through. And what I'm noticing and what I'm learning. And so the name of the game, the name of the video has to do with trauma. We're going to talk about trauma today. We're going to talk about the effect that trauma has on the individual and a person's ability to function and to succeed and to honestly to just get things done. And I've had some very insightful conversations with a couple of people about this today. It's worth sharing. It really is. It's worth sharing. It's worth listening. Frankly, most of us, the vast majority of us have some trauma. I believe that I did a video about big trauma and little trauma, or big T, little T, hard T, soft T. And man, the longer that I'm a therapist, the more I just encounter like the small T's, the soft T's. I call them soft T's again because it's hard to pin them down to like a singular moment or a singular event as to why it exists or you know what happened to the individual in that regard. But in this video, I'm going to talk about how trauma it does affect us, and what I'm learning, what I'm picking up so far on how I intend to remedy this and fix this, not only for myself, but I'm hoping that I can pass this on to you, the viewer, the audience, free content on how to approach your own trauma, right? So here's the thing is I'm going to talk about trauma in regards to how it has a tendency to fracture us. It has a tendency to cause the person to be fractured or to have like a fissure or a fracture or like a schism. In some cases, the fracture is so bad that the person is actually broken into pieces. And we see a lot of these folks, and I know a lot of you out there can relate to this. Chime in, feel free to chime in, please. We want to hear from you. You're important. What you have to say is important. The struggle that you go through is really important. But those of you who I know that are out there, I know you experience this broken into pieces, just shattered almost into pieces. And if you ask me, this is what happens with a personality disorder, is that the person is just sort of broken into pieces, right? And so I was talking about this fracture today with some folks. One of them was a friend and one of them was a client. And it was really great discussion. And if you kind of pay attention internally to yourself and your internal experience, you probably notice that you have this feeling that you feel fractured. Like there's a schism, right? And just like this fissure. So that's the best way to describe it. It's so subtle. It's so nuanced. You really kind of have to pay attention to your psyche, to your emotions, even to your spirituality to kind of pick up on it or notice that it's even there in the first place, right? So with that in mind, what I notice, and this is true for me, the two people that I was discussing it with today, is that because this fracture exists, it's not only very difficult or almost impossible to feel whole or to feel complete, but it's just like I know me, I feel out of sorts. I just feel really out of sorts. Like it's difficult for me to see things through or to complete things. Like especially when I'm really, really out of sorts, like when I'm in that state of that fracture, it really is kind of as though like it's like I can't complete my exercise routine. I can't eat properly. It's difficult to get things cleaned. It's difficult to get any work done. It's difficult to follow through with anything. I just like nothing's connecting. Like the dots don't connect. It's almost like it almost feels like this computer program that is incomplete, right? It's trying to run a program, but the code isn't there to complete certain functions, right? And so I would love for a lot of you out there who have your own traumas, which is pretty much all of you, right? to chime in. Tell me what you think. Please comment. Do you notice this? Is this true for you? Do you notice that you are that because that fracture exists, right? It's just hard to complete things. It's hard to see things through. It's hard to perform certain functions. Like you feel like you're just sort of getting by most of the time, or barely getting anything done. Perhaps. I want to know your experience. I would be curious to know what your experience is. So here's what I've got so far on it, because as I told my peeps today, I will figure this out. I will. I'm very, very confident that I will get this figured out. I've figured out so much. I've come so far already, not only with my own mental health, but helping others with their issues and those things. I will get this figured out. But here's what I've come up with so far: is this fracture kind of begins with the core wound, and any time throughout your life that you are doing anything that aggravates that old core wound, right? That or re-injures you psychologically or re-injures you emotionally, you're going to just basically re-aggravate that wound, right? That makes sense. And at the end of the day, I think most of us are probably struggling with probably the most major core wounds, and I think this is why even we're seeing this. We're seeing society just erode and decay into something. But it's this: the core wound, the core message, I think, is this: that we individually don't see ourselves as lovable, and that society as a whole really is like very conditional with its love. Our parents are often very conditional with their love, and the solution is for us. And I know people hate this; they're really, really adverse to this idea. Is to love yourself, right? And to me, loving yourself isn't just a good feeling. It's something that you practice. It's something that you do. And when I say practice, I really mean the word practice. It's like practice the piano, or practice shooting hoops, or, practice a musical instrument. Practice yoga so you get good at yoga. It's something that you work at, and that you actively do. Right? Like just sitting with your emotions instead of trying to escape from them or self-medicate them, for example, can be an act of self-love, because it's almost like there's a part of you that needs someone to stop abandoning them, right? Because let's be honest here, right? If you're experiencing severe feelings of discomfort because maybe deep down you don't think that you're lovable, for example, or that you're worthy or deserving of love, and instead of being there for yourself, if you engage in escapism, you can inadvertently re-aggravate that core wound because you're abandoning yourself, right? And so here's what I've come up with so far in terms of like remedying, providing a remedy for this fracture or this fissure, right? Is to be there for yourself, to support yourself. Lots of ways to do that. I'm finding. I'm practicing it too. I'm going through it right now. 100% going through it right now, just like a lot of you are. And in that regard, I'm practicing it too. I'm figuring out how to be there for myself and to support myself. I use meditation. I just use self-talk methods, affirmations, and stuff like that. At least for the time being, right? And that's helpful. Honestly, I've been finding it really, really surprising and gratifying to be able to just be there for myself. Because I know that not even the people that love me the most are not going to be able to be there exactly when I need them. Okay, so I would love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe while you're here. Love to get your viewer questions. I like audience feedback, to have the audience ask questions. Put them in the comment section below, and I'll try to do my best to get to them. I don't always see them. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope this is helpful. Let me know what you think. We'll see you in the next one.